Stuka Joe here. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the show again. Today is the last deck of the We Must Tell the Emperor game. I just got a message from OBS that my transmission may be overcharged. So if it falls apart, I'll come back. But it looks good from here. So we got Joe Perez, Thomas, Paul Dangle, and Dantin is also here from South Carolina. So we are continuing, and today is the last episode of this playthrough. Each day was a different deck, and today is a late war deck. So this can be very short. I hope not. And we're using the expansion. So the expansion adds a couple of things. Before we start, let me show you what the expansion adds to the game. So we have here the game set up for the last deck. The expansion adds some phases to the turn. And you see there in the orders phase, the extra phase is the withdrawal action. That represents that we can withdraw troops from China to the island defenses, which is a pretty cool mechanic. And then the other new phase is in the housekeeping phase, where we can check for pre-invasion preparation. And we have Lou with us. Yeah, let's see if we can do that. And the one and only Bend Over. So these are the two phases, and what I'm gonna do, so I can try to remember that these phases exist, this little card I made, I'll just overlay it here on the board. Okay. And I hope the music is not too distracting. If it is, let me know. The reason I have to have music is we have at night here, night is gonna fall. We have these frog-like creatures, they make a sound, they call it coqui, they go, so they're gonna sip in through the video. So the music is a way also that helps take them out of the picture. So that is the phases that they add. And we have also William from Kitchener, Ontario. Welcome. So we got already Europe is in the house, Ontario, great, US, and here are these pieces that you see here. We can take an action to withdraw Japanese forces from China, and it symbolizes deploying them in the island defenses. And we have also first 505th PIR from Seattle. Welcome. Okay. So, and this is a pretty cool mechanic. If we take this action, what happens is that we place the highest most number that is available, for example 6, we would place it here on the Army-Navy track, and that would gain us another Army-Navy point. And you're going to see in this last phase, we're going to start losing Army-Navy points. The downside is that the track begins to shrink, and the more of these that you put on, the less Army-Navy points we can accumulate. Okay, so that's how it works, and we cannot conduct this action during a turn when the Chinese are advancing. Can't conduct that action in that turn. The other possible situation that we will see is the Soviets entering the game, and it can be at any time within the last 4 cards of the game. So let's hope it's in the card before last. They can't come in the last card. It can be from the turns 2, 3, and 4 before the game ends. Okay, so that's a another situation. And then the other situation is what we're going to see here, what is called the roll for preparation. This marker that you see here, if there are two Allied armies in the number 1 spots, we have to roll to see if we enter in invasion preparations. And we have to roll higher than 4 in order for us to have available the home island defenses. So it makes it even harder for us. But this game's going to introduce kamikazes and also the banzai feature. That is when an Allied army enters the Japanese space, the 0 space, we get a free attack with 1 die. Only a 6 will push them back. You know, at this time we'll use anything that the game gives us. So that's gonna be it for now. Let's start the game. And we got Steven. Welcome, Steven, from Vancouver. We got 2 Canadians. Okay, so let's start the game with the first phase, and that is the headline phase. Let's bring in our board, and that's the situation. We have 4 army, 1 prestige, 2 oil, and US subs at -1. Each time we want to do an oil roll to get oil, we gotta subtract 1, and there can be a card in this deck that will increase that to -2, make it even worse. Now the first card is always the first card that we play for this time. It's a seeded card, and that is Infal and Kohima. That card, and you can see there's military advances by the British, China, and Nimitz. So let's take care of that. We got the British, and the British advance from China into their number 5 spot, which is Ceylon. And we have also advances by the Chinese. So now the Chinese finally get, well, they've been at that number 3 spot before. And the other advance is going to be Nimitz. And Nimitz, this is going to be interesting. Now Nimitz will attempt to take the Solomons again. During the last turn, this card was played, and this may take an effect now. If and when the Solomons unit is in the available box, and that happens if we can't push Nimitz back, and it stays in the available box during the housekeeping phase, then we remove the Solomons for good. And the Solomons defenses is like the best, it's like the homeland defenses. It's pretty good. So let's see if we can stop Nimitz. So we roll, and we need to roll 1 to 3 to stop Nimitz. On a 4 or more, Nimitz advances into the Solomons. And the roll is a 2, so Nimitz goes back to New Hebrides. So started pretty well. So those are the advances. Let's see what else do we have. That was the military advances. Resources. Now we lose. Now it's the crunch time for Army Navy points. We lose 2 Army Navy points and 1 prestige. Oh boy. Let's see how the situation is with the Army Navy points. Okay, we were at 4. Yeah, we started at 4. So we lose 2 Army Navy points. So that goes down to 2. And we lose 1 prestige. Let me see if the Army Navy wants to move. There it goes. And we lose 1 prestige point. And it goes down to 0. So now we got to consider that alternative C. In this turn, because the Chinese army advanced, we cannot take a withdrawal action. So we would have to roll for Army Navy points. We have to spend an action, and the roll means it's a question mark. So we continue with the card. Those are the resources, orders, 4 actions. And note those 4 actions. And it says a +1 die roll modifier versus China. Okay. And now it says flip the American fronts to their 4 battle values. And now you see, for example, that Nimitz here, from a 3, he now becomes a 4. And the same thing happens with MacArthur, who was in Hollandia. From 3, he goes to 4. Okay. Okay, so we're in the orders phase. We got 4 actions. Yep. And a +1 versus China. So let's push the Chinese back. Let's use that first action there. Army counter Navy should be at 2. It was 4 minus 2. Yeah, it's at 2. Oh, yeah, the marker. Forgot to. Thanks, Paul. Yes, it's 202 is the key there. Okay. Thanks for that. Okay, so we have our first action. We roll against the Chinese. We get a +1, and that's a 1 is always a fail. 3 actions left. Okay, let's see what else. Thankfully, Nimitz is back there. I would like to push Nimitz back, but he's not as easy to push back as before. Let's take advantage of that +1. Here we go again. And another 1. It's going to be a short broadcast today, folks. 2 actions left. Man. Okay, let's see. Got 2 left. Oil is critically low also. And oil gets a -1. I'm going to roll for oil because I know we need oil, and we should always try to get an extra oil every turn. So let's roll for oil. Here we go. With a -1 this time. 5 minus 1, 4. So that was good. So oil goes up to 3. So let's push those Chinese back. Okay, here we go. Against the Chinese with our last action. We got 1 action left. Here we go. And finally, the Chinese go back to Hunan. That was our last action, so could have been worse. Could have been worse. But all the cards are going to be like that. So we go now to housekeeping. Here we go. Okay, that was the first of 20 cards. Okay, let's go to the headline phase when we flip the next card. U.S. submarine. You remember in the last epoch, the U.S. submarine card came at the last moment. It was great. Now, the -2, now the decrease to -2 comes right now. So this is pretty bad. So we got military advances by all Allied armies. So let's take care of that. Okay, we start with Nimitz. Oops. Okay, Nimitz will advance here. And now we have to roll for the Solomons defense to see if they can fend off. We need 1 to 3. So here we go. And boy, they give those guys a medal right now. That was tremendous. So Nimitz goes back to New Hebrides, so he doesn't advance. But MacArthur will advance into Mindanao. And we have the British will advance into Burma. And because the Chinese are advancing, we can't take a withdrawal action this turn either. It's a good thing we pushed them back previous turn. So they go to Hubei. Move the US sub marker to the -2 die roll box. Okay. So we see the marker there. So now it goes to -2, and we mark that in our little board up here. There's 20 cards in this deck. Yes, barely started. So that was the military phase. Now we go to the resources phase. And we lose 2 oil. Boy, this is awful. Okay, we lose 2 oil. Oil goes down to 1. So it's 201. It was a resource phase. Orders, 3 actions. Okay, there's no modifiers. We got to increase oil because otherwise we're going to be in a really bad situation. We can't increase Army Navy by withdrawing. It's a good thing that Nimitz was pushed back. So let's go for 1 oil. It's going to be our first action. And it's -2. We need a 5 or a 6, right? Boy, we got to give it a shot. We got three chances. We got to give it at least 1 shot. So here we go. Oil. Oh, that's a miss. There goes our first action. Yeah, Nimitz, it'd be nice to push him back. He's a 4. The Chinese are a 3, yeah, but the Chinese, we push him back later. This is where all the alternatives are bad. And DDLOD is here. Welcome. So, we've got to try to push at least one of these fellows back. MacArthur is a 4, Nimitz is a 4. We want to keep that Solomon, so let's push Nimitz back. Okay, so here we go against Nimitz. And it's a 5, right? So Nimitz goes back to Midway. And we have 1 action left, and I can't leave that oil there, because then we'll just have, in the next turn, just 1 attack that we can make. So we got to give it a shot. Got to give the oil a shot. So here we go. Last action with the oil. And it is 1. So that's a failure. It was our last action. We'll go to housekeeping. $201, yes. Okay, go to our next card. Let's get this thing up to date. And the next card is Soviet Union declares war. Okay, so this card is, according to the rules, it's premature. It says, do not perform this card if 4 or more other unplayed cards remain. So we place it at the bottom of the draw pile. So let's do that. Place this card at the bottom, and it's not going to be the last card in the draw pile because there's an unconditional surrender card that always goes last. So if we put it before, we place that one last. Okay, so we draw another card. Got a battle. battle for Iwo Jima. Okay, so we have military advances by Nimitz. You can't keep the glove off Nimitz. He is a pest. So let's move Nimitz. Nimitz. See if I can put him in the shot here. Nimitz advances from Midway into New Hebrides. And that is the only military advance. Resources, we lose an Army, Navy, and we lose a Prestige. Prestige is at 0, but we lose an Army, Navy, and now things are getting really, really ugly, as you can see here. Army, Navy is at 2. We lose 1 point, and now it is at 1. 101. This is the worst the resources have been in the whole game. So that was resources, orders, and we see the battle table, but there's a -1 against Nimitz and a +1 to fortify. Okay. So let's go to the battle for Iwo Jima. Hit the wrong button again. Battle for Iwo Jima. Let's see where it is here. Here it is. 3 actions. Let's post those 3 actions. Okay. Yeah, I gotta go for the battle. I mean, you got a 66% chance of getting something right. Okay, so the first action, we're gonna spend it, is for Iwo Jima. So here we go. We roll 1d6. And the roll is a 1. Yeah, it's there. It's a 1. There it is. A 1. So Nimitz retreats 1 space. Oh, that's great. So Nimitz goes back to Midway. Okay. Finally, won a battle. It had been a while. Still got 2 actions left. We got Cage. Bushi. Says we are the Japanese in World War II. We must tell the Emperor that we want to try to not lose the war. Here we go. Okay, we got 2 actions left. Now, in this turn, China is not advancing, so we're going to take a withdrawal action. And what we do is we take the highest withdrawal marker off the map, which is the 6, and we place it here in its 6 box, and that makes the Army Navy level increase by 1. So now it goes up to 2. Gives us a little breathing room. But that was our second action. 1 action left. Nimitz has a -1. Fortifying has a +1. That would be putting that, yeah, and I think we should fortify Luzon, because Luzon is an island space. I think it would be a good idea. In case MacArthur gets activated, we got something to try to stop it. So we got a fortify action. We have to roll higher than 2, but there's a +1. So here we go. And the roll is a 2 + 1, and that came in handy. So we place the island marker in Luzon. So, okay, that was good. Can't complain. Could have been a worse turn. We're in the last step. So this is the orders phase. And now we go to housekeeping. Okay, We go to the next card. I think we've done like 4 cards. We're still beginning here. Still starting. Next card. Tokyo Rose. What does that say there? Advances any one allied army player choice. Yeah, Tokyo Rose has to be a good card for us, right? She was spreading misinformation and all that. So we choose one army to advance. So let's see which one that will be. Sounds like the British. Yeah, we're not going to advance the Americans or the Chinese or Nimitz. Leave them over there. Yeah, we're going to advance the... Oh, but the British are getting close. 3. Yeah, but they're easy to push back. So let's advance the British to Malaya. That's their number 3 spot. Let's see what else is in this card. No resources and 2 actions. And there's a +1 for all resource actions. Okay, let's mark that here. Two actions. I'd like to give pushing MacArthur back. But yeah, we got to take advantage. +1 for resources, especially oil. Army, Navy, we can keep on doing this withdrawal gimmick until the Chinese advance or something. So let's take our first action. Let's get some oil. -2, +1. It's a -1 modifier. And we need higher than 2. Final numbers. Here we go. Okay, let me see here. 5 -1, 4. We got some oil. So oil goes up to 2. So a little breather there. We got one more action, and I'm really tempted to go for more oil. Yeah, you want to push MacArthur back, but with MacArthur, it's a 2 in 6 chance. With that +1 modifier, it's a 3 in 6 chance. No? No. Okay. I'm going to live dangerous. We're going to go for oil, folks. I know that doesn't seem very pressing, but we're going to need oil. So here we go. -1 modifier only. -1. That failed. We would have failed against MacArthur also. So that's the end of our actions. Housekeeping. Yes, Victory Point game doesn't exist anymore. Maybe Worthington can do us a favor and republish this. Okay, so we go to our next card. Headline phase. I think this is like card 6 or something like that. Monsoons and typhoons. I'll take it. Take any storm. Better than an advance. So, let's see here. It's interesting. Military, none. It says, on the next card only, you may cancel 1 army unit's advance. I gotta make sure I remember this. Okay. That sounds good. It sounds good, so I'll try to remember that. Okay, we go. I'll put that card to the side, I guess. Okay, resources, no resources, and we get 2 actions. +1 for Army, Navy. Oh, okay. +1 for Army Navy. Got it. Okay. No advances. So we got these two actions. I think we should try to push MacArthur back. He's a 4. He's a tough cookie. Let's give it a shot. Let's try to push MacArthur back to Hollandia. We need 5 or 6. Here we go. Put them. And we got it. 5. MacArthur back to Hollandia. We got one action left. And Nimitz is over there at Midway. Leave him alone. Should we go for the Army Navy, or should we just withdraw because the Chinese didn't move? We can take another withdrawal because the Army Navy, it's a 4 and 6, but it can fail. Prestige is at 0, but who cares? Okay. Let's go for Army Navy. Yeah, resources. That's what I thought. Thing is, yeah, we can always use that withdrawal later. Let's take advantage of the bonus. And let's roll for Army Navy. Here we go. Okay, we got it. So Army Navy goes up to 3. Can't complain. That's the orders phase. Now, housekeeping. And now we have to remember that on the next card, we can cancel an army's advance. Okay, so let's see what the next card will be. We're in the headline phase. But the next card, yes, there's advances, so it's worthwhile. The road to Mandalay. Okay, let's take a picture of this. We have advances by the British and the Chinese. So if we cancel the Chinese advance, we could place an army, we could withdraw an Army Navy. Chinese. Let's see. It's either the Chinese or the British we can cancel. British are at 3. The Chinese are at 3. I think, but look at this. The British would move at 2. We got to cancel the Chinese if we're going to use the withdrawal for Army Navy. See what orders we have. 3 actions, -1 against the British, +1 against the Chinese, -1 for Army Navy, and oh man, this is going to be ugly. Resources are going to be ugly here. So we got 3 actions. Let's see one thing here. No, I mean we're not at the action level yet. Let me just put it as 0. We're in the military. We can cancel one move. We're going to cancel the Chinese move. So they don't move. It means that the British will move. And they move to British Borneo. Okay. So that's the military phase. Resources, lose another prestige. We don't have prestige. Now we go to orders, and we have 3 actions. -1 against the British. Let's place it there. +1 against China, and -1 for Army, Navy, and oil. $302. Yes. Okay, so we got 3 actions. The British are getting too close for comfort, but they have a -1 against the British. Chinese have a +1. Yeah, we should hit the Chinese first. So let's go. Well, the first action against the Chinese. And it's a 4 + 1, 5. Yes. Go reeling back to Hunan. I don't. Pretty sure close. It's a number 2. You imagine the British win the game. That would be something weird. Americans at 4. But they barely get like to move, the British. I think Nimitz is more active. Let's see how our resources are. Well, it's -1 oil, everything. It's like a waste of time here. Yeah. All resources are -1. Forgot to put the marker here. Let's see if we can push the British back, even with that -1. So we need to roll higher than 3. Here we go. And it's a 6. So the British are sent back to Malaya. Can't complain. 1 action left. Now Malaya is a fortified space. That's another -1. So, and I can't attack him again anyway because I pushed him back. So we can't push the British nor the Chinese back. We have 1 more action. So it's going to have to be, let's go for MacArthur. Here we go. Yep, let's do MacArthur. Here we go. Another 6. Great. It's like the best military turn that we've had in the whole game. Push back 3 fronts. So that wasn't bad at all. Okay, so it's 302. We push back these armies. Housekeeping. Okay, so everything's looking good so far. I mean, resources were pretty low, but everything else looks fine. So let's go to our next card. Headline phase. I have returned. Man, it was good we pushed MacArthur back. Okay. So we got military advances by MacArthur. And he returns to Hollandia. Let's just make sure he's just returning to Hollandia the whole game. Okay. Next. Resources, none. 3 actions. 3 actions are good. And we got to get some oil. Got to get some oil. So it's going to be a -2 for the oil, but we got to go. We got to give it our shot. So here we go. Oil. 4 -2, 2. That's a miss. Okay. 2 actions left. Let's try to push somebody back. The British are in a fortified space. I'm not going to waste that. But the Chinese are in their 4 space. And MacArthur just got pushed back. So. No, MacArthur advanced to Hollandia. He hasn't gotten pushed back. Yeah. Okay, let's go for MacArthur. Here we go. Higher than 4. And nope. It's a fail. 1 action left. I'm more afraid of the oil than MacArthur right now. And the British, well, I can't push back the British. There's a 4, he's a 4. Okay, let's go for MacArthur one more time before we get like a -1 against MacArthur. So here we go. Last one against MacArthur, and it's a 6. So he goes back to Port Moresby. So that was good. It was worthwhile. It's our last action, housekeeping. See, how many cards have we played? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Card 8 of 20. Coming up. Gotta update this thing. Headline phase, here we go. Siege of Myitkyina. Let's take a picture of that. Military advances by the British and the Chinese. I was talking about the British, how lethargic they were, but not really, so let's go. So the British advance again to British Borneo, and the Chinese advance into Hubei, so we can't do a withdrawal in this turn. The military actions. Now we lose another prestige. We don't have prestige. 3 actions. No modifiers. Yeah, let's push the British back. Shouldn't be too difficult. We need higher than 3. Here we go. And a 1. So much for that, huh? Okay, let's try to get some oil. Okay, here we go. Let's get some oil. -2. 5 -2, 3. We got oil. Barely, but we got oil. Oil now is at 3. We have 1 action left. Oh boy. British are in their 2 spot. And that island defense in front of them is not very tough. So let's go against the British. Here we go. Need higher than 3. 6. And the British go back to Malaya. So that was pretty good, actually. And that's the end of the orders phase, and now we go to housekeeping. Okay, so go to the next headline card. This one is a battle. Battle for Okinawa. And there's military advances by the British, MacArthur, and Nimitz. Oh boy, this one's pretty bad. Okay, so let's take care of those advances first. We got an advance by the British and back to British Borneo. And we got advances by MacArthur back at Hollandia. And we got advances by our great friend Nimitz. He's finally showed up. Let me see if we can put him in the shot there. And he is for the 30th time back at New Hebrides. Now we lose a ton of resources. We lose 2 Army, Navy, 2 Prestige. Prestige is at 0. But Army, Navy now becomes a concern again. So Army, Navy now goes down to 1. 103 in resources. It's pretty concerning there. That's resources, military resources, orders phase, sea battle table, but there's going to be a +1 against the British, and that comes in the nick of time, and a -1 against Nimitz. Okay. So, yep, let's go to the order, the battles. This is the Battle of Okinawa. See it here in the bottom. So this one again, we got highest probability of getting a good result, but you can see that the card already has bad results in terms of losing resources. So yes, we're gonna take 4 actions, and we're gonna spend the first action to fight this battle. So let's spend it. And here we go, 1d6. We lose 1 oil. No. Oh man, that is terrible. So we lose an oil, and we are hurting in oil now. So hard to get. Oil is at 2. Lost the Battle of Okinawa. Got 3 actions left. Nimitz is at -1. That's hard. That's a 6 we need. Okay, we got to push the British back, and we got the Chinese did not advance. Let's first start with a withdrawal action. So I pick the next withdrawal marker, number 5. I place it here, and that increases Army Navy to 2. Okay, can't let that go to 0. Okay, so we got 2 actions left. Yeah, let's go against the British. We got to take advantage of that +1. Here we go. 2 + 1, 3. That's a fail. 1 action left. Damn. It's going to have to be the British because I don't want to lose that fortification. Well, the British would be going. Actually, the fortification is really against MacArthur. It's not against the British. The British will go to the number 1 spot, Hong Kong. And then once you have an army in the 1 spot, you've got all sorts of problems. We got Brian, welcome. Let's go after the British again. Here we go. We got a +1, our last action of this card, and we miss again. So, what's the end of that card? Housekeeping. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to card number 10. So after this card, we're halfway through the deck, which is the best I've made playing this game. I've done playing this game anyway. So it's going to be a personal best even if I lose badly. So here we go. Next card. We go to headline phase. Kamikazes! I like the sound of that. Okay. Let's take a look at this card. Military advances by Nimitz. And then we're going to have kamikazes. We have 3 kamikaze markers. This gives us free actions, but they're, of course, kamikazes. Once you use them, you lose them. Okay, but let's start with the military advance. And the military advance is going to be by our great pal, Nimitz. And we have the fellows at Okinawa. I mean, gotta give Medal of Honor to these guys. But now I'm gonna jinx them. Okay, so Nimitz is stopped at New Hebrides on a 1-3, 4-6, and he occupies the Solomons unless we can push him back in our action phase. So here we go against Nimitz. Well, not against Nimitz. Nimitz advancing, and let's see if the Solomons defenders stop him. And they didn't stop him. So now Nimitz remains with the Solomon defenders there. And if we don't push Nimitz back, they're gone, and they're gone for good. So that was the advance there by Nimitz. And now the resources. We place the 3 kamikaze markers in their available box. So let's take a look at the kamikaze markers. Here you see them in the not in play box. And you can see the kamikazes, we can use them in one of 3 ways. We can spend them and they're gone. We can spend one and we can roll on the battle table. We can spend one and we can do a free attack against an island, but to win we need a 6. These are kamikazes. Or we can use them as a +1 die roll modifier in an attack against an island. So, but the thing is, once they're used, they're gone. So we move these 3 kamikazes into the kamikaze marker box. Okay, and they are available. So that's all as to resources. Now, 3 actions. And we have a +1 against Nimitz. That's good. And a +1 to all resource action die rolls. Okay, so good. This could be a good turn. Can't complain. Okay, placing the markers. Okay, so got a total of 3 actions, and of course we got to push Nimitz out of there. See, I could use the kamikazes to get another +1, but no, it would be a waste of kamikazes right now. Okay, so we need to roll higher than 4, and we get a +1. So here we go. Got it. 4 + 1, 5. So the +1 came in the nick of time. So Nimitz goes back to New Hebrides. And the Solomon defenders are still there. Can't complain. Man, those guys are heroes, yeah. So we've got 2 actions, and there's +1 4 resources. Okay, got that situation there. Let's go for oil, and then we'll go after the British. Let's see. Okay, let's go for oil. We got a +1 and a -2 because of the subs. 6 + 1, 7 -2, 5. So we got some oil. So we got 3 oils. 1 action left. I'm looking at those British here. You can't push Nimitz back again. It's only once per turn you can push them back. So the British are at 2. The Chinese are at 3. Yeah, the British are too close for comfort. We don't want them going to Hong Kong that early. So here we go against the British. And a 6. And the British go back to Malaya. Yes. So that was our last action for this card. We'll go to housekeeping. Okay. Let's go to the next card. And it is B-29 Fire Bomb Raids. I don't like that, the title of that. That doesn't sound good. Oh my God. And we have military advances. Advance any one allied army. Okay. Okay, that's better than advancing all of them. So let's take a picture of this because we're going to be consulting this card. Advance any one allied army. So the British are at 3. MacArthur, which is a tougher cookie, at 4. Nimitz is a new Hebrides. The Chinese are at 3. Man, I gotta advance one of these suckers. So I'm gonna have what pluses do we have? Army, Navy, and -2 for prestige. It says reshuffle into draw pile if 4 or more cards remain. That's not the case. That's not going to apply. Okay. These are tough. These are tough. And we got how many actions? Oh, I just have one action. It's just one action. Yeah. Resources, it was lose 1 prestige. Yeah, the card says lose 1 prestige, but we don't have any prestige. So we only have one action. Oh boy. I'm tempted to go try to push Nimitz back. He's harder. The British have that bonus there. The easiest to push back are the Chinese. But Nimitz is... I should go against the Chinese, but they're easier to push back later. I want to see if I can get Nimitz back to Midway, because Nimitz is a pest. So here we go. Sole action against Nimitz. It was going to fail anyway, so nothing. And that's the end of that phase. Now we go to housekeeping. Okay, so here we go. The next card. Philippine Liberation. What does it say? The liberation? Liberated. Philippines liberated. Okay. Military advances by MacArthur. So MacArthur now moves into Mindanao. Okay. What else? Resources. Lose prestige. Prestige is at 0. Was I? I was supposed to choose an opponent to advance. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, John. Yep. I didn't do that. You're right. I'll choose the Japanese. Forgot that. It's good to have people watching this thing. Let's see. Where is it? Okay. Japanese are in their 2 spot now. Okay. Thanks, Joe. Okay. Got John N is here. Welcome. And Jack O'Lantern. Oh, you like the man cave, huh? Okay. So we just moved MacArthur. Well, we don't have any prestige. Now it's 3 actions. And a -1 for Army Navy dials. Okay. 3 actions. Yeah, the Chinese are too close for comfort, resource-wise. 2-3. Yeah. No use rolling for Army Navy points. Oil could be worse. I think we have to push the Chinese back. We don't want them in that #1 space. So the first roll against the Chinese. Here we go. And 5. We go back to Hupei. That was our first action. Yeah, we got 2 actions left. This is yeah. So it's 3 action card. Oh boy, let's see. Should go after MacArthur. It's too close for comfort. We don't want him to return yet. So let's go after MacArthur. Here we go. And that's a failure. 1 action left. Not pressed for resources. The British are at 3. MacArthur is at 3, but he's at 4. The Chinese are at 3, but they're a 3. And Nimitz is a 4, but he's in his 6th spot. Yeah, I think we have to go MacArthur again. Okay, last die roll, MacArthur. And that failed. So, boy, that was bad. Okay, housekeeping. See how many cards we played. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I should have put a card count. 12 cards. Okay. No, well, no, but we can't increase the the level for the troops in Luzon. That's all we have. So we go to the next card. Here we go. Oh boy, this card is really busy. 1,000 bomber raids. That doesn't sound good. Oh boy, it's got a whole paragraph there. So let's see what this card says. Military. All Allied armies advance except roll a die. On a 1 or 2, the British don't advance. On a 3, China does not advance. On a 4, MacArthur. On a 5, Nimitz. And on a 6, all Allied armies advance. Man, this really sucks. Oh boy, so we got to do that. Here we go, 1d6. Huh. The British are the only ones that don't advance. Well, the British are at 3. So everybody else advances. Man, that sucks. Okay. So that means, let's start here with the Chinese. Chinese advance into Peking. That's the number 2 spot. The British don't advance. MacArthur does advance into Luzon. And now we see if those Luzon defenders have any metal. Now there's a die roll. On a 1 or 2, MacArthur is reeling back to Mindanao. On a 3 or higher, he stays at Luzon. Here we go. And a 1, yes, he goes back to Mindanao. Boy, those island defenders are tough. Okay, but we still have Nimitz. Nimitz advancing against the Medal of Honor winners of the Solomons. These guys are just incredible. So here we go. We roll 1d6 on a 1 to 3, and Nimitz goes back to Nihedidis. And yes, he goes back. Wow, that's incredible. These guys have just held Nimitz the whole war there. So yeah, the only army that advanced were the Chinese. So that means we can't do a withdrawal action this turn. Okay. Well. Resources, none. Orders, 3. And -1 for all resources. So, 3 actions. Oh boy, let's see. The Chinese now are dangerously close, but MacArthur was sent back. We want to have a shot to try to push MacArthur and Nimitz back, especially MacArthur. So Nimitz still has a long way to go. But the Chinese, they're too close for comfort. We can't let them get to that 1 space. So that's going to be our first attack against the Chinese here. Here we go. And that fails. Damn. Oil is at 3, but there's a -1 for resources. So I don't think we'll be doing any resource rolling. Let's try to push MacArthur back. Here we go. 1d6. We need higher than 4, and also a failure. Welcome to States of Siege. Seems more like it. 1 action. Go after the Chinese. Chinese would be a 3. MacArthur's a 4. I don't want to use a kamikaze yet. But I can't let those Chinese advance into 1. It becomes a pain in the ass then. If any American army advances into a 1 spot and there's another army of whichever type in a 1 spot, then we have to start rolling for our defense preparation, and that marker that you see there may get flipped, and then you don't have any island defense. So let's go after the Chinese. 1d6. And yes, at last. So the Chinese go back to Hupei. So it wasn't as bad as it could have been. And we go now to housekeeping. Okay, so we'll go to the next card. Headline phase. The Great Marianas Turkey shoot. Military advances by Nimitz. Okay. And Nimitz again. Have another move by Nimitz. See, with that performance in this game, Nimitz would have been sacked a long time ago. Here we go. Okay, so we have to roll. On a 1-3, Solomon defenses triumph again. And Nimitz goes back. Here we go. 5. So now Nimitz stays there. So we're going to have to try to push Nimitz back. So the defenses didn't work there. We go to resources. We lose 2 Army Navy. Uh-oh. Now things are bad. Look at this. 2 Army Navy means we're at 0. And if it remains at 0 at the end of the turn, we lose the game. Thankfully, I think China doesn't advance in this card, so we can use an action there. Bam! So Army Navy is at 0. What else? We lose a prestige and we lose an oil. So oil also goes back 1 level to 2. So we're at 002. This is bad. This card is really bad. Okay, so resources or orders 3 actions. And we have a +1 to fortify, which we won't be doing. So all forts are out. -1 against Nimitz. So if we don't push Nimitz out of the Solomons, we lose our Solomon defenders. So we got a bunch of problems which are occurring at the same time. Especially the first thing called to order is we can't push anybody back until we take care of this situation. And the way we're going to take care of it is with a withdrawal from China. There was no movement, no military advance by China, so we can definitely, just a second here, we can definitely, check, okay. We can definitely take the next one, which is the number 4 marker. And so in this box, hey, okay, my voice is back. Yes, we got 2 actions left. Yeah, pressing the wrong button all the time. Thanks, Joe and Paul. Okay. 102 resources, 2 actions. And the situation here is that Nimitz is at the Solomons. It's going to be tough to push him back. We would need a 6, right? Yeah. We would need a 6. We can probably dedicate 1 die roll, but we got to try to push back one of these other armies. MacArthur is a 4, and he's in the number 3 spot. Chinese are at the 3 spot. Okay, going. We could take another withdrawal action and increase Army Navy too. My voice is down. Just a second. Okay, how about now? Check 1, 2. Okay. Yeah, don't forget the kamikazes. Kamikazes. Oh, okay. Man, this. Let's see. Tough choices. How many cards left after this one? Let me see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try to push MacArthur back. And let's use a kamikaze. We got a +1. I know probably want to use them when we're fighting in Japan, but by that time it may be late. So let's place a kamikaze here. We're going to use them as a +1. Try to push MacArthur back. So here we go. Our second action. We wasted the kamikazes. Oh. So there go the kamikazes. They're lost. And we got one action left. Army-Navy level is at 1. If Army-Navy drops to less than 1, then we're in this bind again. So China didn't advance in this turn. So I'm forced to take another withdrawal because I can't take my chances in the next card having a Chinese advance, and then I have to roll, and I'm going to be busy rolling for resources and everybody entering. So we withdraw from China. And that marker goes there. So Army-Navy goes to 2. That was our last action. Brace for impact, folks. Oh, no kamikazes, only in island spaces. You're right. So I couldn't use a kamikaze. That's right. I would have lost anyway, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm taking the kamikaze back. Good. Thanks, Joe. Good point. I forgot. It's only in islands. It's in Luzon. Yeah. Okay, so we lost the battle anyway. We lose the battle and take the kamikaze back. Okay. So we got our 3 kamikazes. There they are. It's almost like you don't want to use them, you know? You feel sorry if you can use them. Okay, so that was... Where were we? We're at resources, yeah. Yeah, that's this card. We finished this card. 3 actions, yeah. Housekeeping. And one detail about housekeeping now, housekeeping because Nimitz is at the Solomons and with our fortification marker, and because of this card that I told you about before, if and when the Solomon unit is in the available box, it would go to the available box. It is permanently removed from the game. So those guys are heroes. They held Nimitz off for a long time. Maybe they give us the victory in the long end. So they have a housekeeping phase with that detail there. So we go back to the next card. Headline phase. China offensive. Kigo. Let me take a better picture of that. There you go. No military advances. We lose an Army-Navy. It's a good thing we got one in the other turn, and we gain 1 prestige. What? Something. So we lose an Army-Navy. point, so it goes down to 1. But we get a prestige. So prestige now goes up to 1. But it's still bad. You can have a card next turn that decreases both by 1, and then we're in a bind there. So that was resources. Orders, 3 actions. And a +1 against China. China's in their number 3 spot. Okay, 3 actions. Resources are pretty bad. But we have MacArthur knocking the door of the Philippines. And we have the Chinese who could try to push back. Army Navy is at 1. We have 1 more marker, but I don't want to use that last marker. I would like to increase Army Navy to 2, but I would have to roll for it because I like that number 2 spot. I don't want to be living on the edge of all the time with a 1 and then the 0, 1, 0. We don't want. But then we got to roll for that. Yes, the Philippines or islands, Luzon. Yes. We have 3 actions. Let's roll for Army Navy. Let's see if we can increase that to 2 so that we have some breathing room. Here we go. 4, yes. So Army Navy goes to 2. Oh, I decreased it to 0. It's to 2. There you go. 2, 1, 2. And we have 2 actions left. Okay. MacArthur is a 4. The thing with that thing that I told you about this situation, they called defense preparation situation. That is what we lose that fortification and no banzai attacks. If we have an American army with another army, it doesn't get triggered if there's no American army. So I think we should still try to push MacArthur back. So let's dedicate 1 die roll to MacArthur. Here we go. And that failed. Chinese at 3, and there's a +1. You got to take. So that they won't worry us for a while. Our last one against the Chinese. And 6, so the Chinese go back to Hunan. Okay, that was our last action. Now we go to housekeeping. Okay, so that was housekeeping. How many cards left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to take a 1-minute break. Public service announcement. I got to stretch, for the final stretch. And we will be right back. If I can find the button. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Last 5 cards. So we go to the next card. Headline phase. U.S. supports China. I don't like the sound of that. So here we go. Let's see what this card entails. Let's take a picture. Military. British China. And it says flip the China unit to its 4 battle value. Ugh. And advances by the British and China. It's a good thing we have 2 Army Navy planes. So here we go. We flip that Chinese Army marker. We flip it to its number 4 side in Hunan. So now the Chinese are going to be a pain in the butt. And there's military advances by China. So we can't do a withdrawal action. I don't think we would be doing anyway. And by the British. And the British now move to their number 2 spot, British Borneo. Okay. That was a military phase. Resources, none. 3 actions. Plus 1 against China. Minus 1 against Nimitz. Nimitz is loose already in the Solomons. Okay. Here's the situation. 3 actions. Resource-wise, I can't complain. We got 2 oils living by the edge there, but Nimitz is a minus 1. China's a plus 1, but they're in their 3 box. The British are of some concern there, as is MacArthur. Okay, let's go after the British. Try to push them back to Malaya. That's going to be our first attack. And it's a failure. 2 actions left. Damn. See, MacArthur is a 4, is easier to push back this turn than Nimitz. And we don't want Americans arriving at that number 1 spot. So, has to be MacArthur. So we're attacking MacArthur at Mindanao. Four. That's a fail. And we couldn't use kamikazes there because for game purposes, Mindanao is not an island. Yes, that's a good point. Nimitz has been delayed a long time. I think if we win, those Solomon guys just, they're here. They delayed Nimitz. I think in most games, Nimitz is already in the Marianas or Iwo Jima or something. 1 action. Nimitz is a -1, not worth it. It's got to be MacArthur. But we had a good chance to push the Chinese back and then not worry about them anymore. Maybe that's the way to go. You got to use those modifiers. Make a world of a difference. Army, Navy, resources. Yeah. No. Go against the Chinese. I know they're a 4, but we got a +1. They're going to be tough to push back if they move into Peking. That would be there too. Man, tough decisions. Mindanao. It's 3, but we got the Luzon guys there. Okay, let's try to push the Chinese back. Here we go. Got a +1. Yes. So the Chinese go back to Hunan. And that was our last action. And yes, we would have pushed MacArthur back. We attacked the wrong army. Okay. So that's the end of the orders phase. Housekeeping. 4 cards left. Here we go. Headline phase. Battle of Leyte Gulf. We haven't done very well in the battles. Okay, you got military advances by MacArthur and Nimitz. Oh boy. Let's do those. So Nimitz is in the Solomons here. He advances into the Marshalls. It's number 4 spot. And MacArthur now advances into Luzon. And we have our Luzon defenders. We have to roll on a 1 or 2. He goes back to Mindanao. 3 or more, he stays at Luzon. Here we go. And he stays at Luzon. He has returned. So that was the military phase. Resources. We lose 2 Army Navy. Not 1, we lose 2. So Army Navy goes back to 0. That means we have to address that in our action phase. And what's the other one? We lose prestige and 1 oil. Okay. So prestige also goes down to 0. So that means if we don't correct this at the end of the turn, we lose the game. And oil goes down to 1. Zero, 0, 1. This is the worst resource numbers we've had in the whole game. Go figure. So that's resources. Orders. See battle table +1 against MacArthur. Well, that is good. If we have any actions to spare. +1 against MacArthur. So we go to the table, the Battle of Leyte Gulf. Oh, I like this one. Retreat. Nimitz or MacArthur, 1 space and 1 prestige. Oh, but look what happens. If we roll a 5 or a 6, oil goes down by 1, and if oil goes down by 1, look what happens. We lose the game instantly, so I don't think we'll be fighting Leyte Gulf. Man, we can't take that chance. That is like living by, that is living by the edge. And that would be a shame because we lose and we never use the kamikazes. No, so boy, we're not going to be fighting Leyte Gulf. Man, so we got all of our 4 actions. Let's put them in 1, 2, 3, 4. Not fighting Leyte Gulf. Oh boy. Okay. We got a +1 against MacArthur. We got to move him out of there. But before that, we got to correct this situation here. Now, we can use the last... You'll see the Chinese didn't move in this turn. No, we can use the last withdrawal. And it's going to be 1-0-1-0. We'll probably have to do it because we start rolling and missing. We got to keep rolling on resources. Let's do 1 attack on MacArthur first. Let's see how things go. And then we'll decide over there. We got a +1. And yes, I'm going to use the kamikazes. I want MacArthur out of there. So let's bring in one of our 3 kamikazes. Okay, so we got a total of +2 against MacArthur. It's not going to get better than this. So here we go. failed with the kamikazes. So we lose our first kamikaze. And we have 3 orders left. And we got to push MacArthur back. Because if not, we're going to lose in the housekeeping phase that island defense. And then it's just... So we're going to bring another kamikaze. Kamikaze B. Here we go. +2. Yes! Back to Mindanao, MacArthur goes. Get out of here. Okay, and the kamikaze is gone, and we have 1 kamikaze left. Okay, can't complain. I had to use it. Okay, so that means we have 2 actions left. MacArthur is at Mindanao. Let's address the situation here with the resources because we don't want to lose the game here. Still got 3 cards left. Could take an action and roll for Army, Navy. The British are at 2. Chinese at 3. Do I roll for... The question is, do I roll for Army, Navy? Don't you only get 1 0 roll per resource when on 0? Oh, wait a second. You're right. Yes, I could. Yes. I could. How many times did I attack MacArthur? Twice? Yep. I could only attack him once. That's a good point. Because resources were at 0. So what we're going to do is, let's say that in the prior action I was going to use this. Yep, you're right. I'm going to use my last resource marker. Oh, we don't have another resource marker. That's it. Oh, there was another one. Oh, here it is. Okay, so that would have been, for example, our first action. That's right. Second, we attack MacArthur and fail. Third, we attack MacArthur and we were able to win. So, okay, so now we only have 1 action left. Yep, good point. Because it was at 0. Okay. Yeah. We can't attack MacArthur again. We can attack the British. And we can't get more resources because we used our withdrawal marker and we don't have any more space. So we're really in a tough position here. Do we try to push the British back or do we go for prestige? So, No, I get myself a Kami back. Do I? No, I don't get a Kami back because I did 2 attacks against MacArthur. I used the Kamis on both, so I don't get a Kami back. I wish. Yeah. Yeah, I know. MacArthur should still be in Luzon. I can't attack him twice. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I should have gone for the... If I would have done this withdrawal first, then I could have attacked him. Okay, let's do the right thing here. This was here. I couldn't attack MacArthur twice, so he's in Luzon. You're right. We get 1 kamikaze back. And we have 2 actions left. Okay. Army Navy is at 0. Now we have 2 actions left. Right, we got 2 actions left. Army Navy's at 0. Yeah, there we go. So we've done the action of attacking MacArthur once. That failed. Yep. We can't attack him twice because of the 0 thing. So now we would take if we take that action, one of the resources, if I can find the marker, where I put it. Oh no, I can't. I have 2 actions left, yeah. Yeah, but I took, okay, this was here. This was like this. Now I would take this action, place it here, and I would have 1 action left. And I can't attack MacArthur. I can't increase Army Navy. Go for prestige. I could go for prestige. Can't go for Army Navy because I don't have any more space. Can't push MacArthur back. Can't attack. I can't attack, so I have to go for resources. Oil is at 1. Oil is man. Okay, we'll have to go for prestige then. Here we go. We're going to roll for prestige. And that failed. So that was our last action. And the resources are Army Navy's at 1. 101. And MacArthur is at Luzon. So now we go to housekeeping. And in housekeeping, this allied marker goes back to the available box. We take away the diagonal modifier. And I think that's it. That is housekeeping. We got 3 cards left. MacArthur is in Luzon. It's a number 2 spot. So here we go to the next card. Headline phase. Unconditional surrender. This is the card that can't be anything but the last card. And it says it there. Do not perform this card unless it is the last one. If drawn prior to that, place it at the bottom of the draw pile instead. Let's take a look at it. All allied armies advanced. This is... Oh boy. This is terrible. Okay, so we place this card in the bottom pile. We may have the Russians shown. Right? So now we flip the next card. Withdrawal from China. We have advances from China and Nimitz. Military advances, China and Nimitz. Let's do those. Okay. And the Chinese are in their number 4 spot. So they advance to 3. And Nimitz is in the Marshalls. So he advances to his 3 in the Marianas. So that was the military phase. Resources, we gain. We gain 1 point, but we can't apply. We can't use that point. Why? Because we don't have any space for it. So we gain One Army Navy, that's ignored. And we lose one prestige. Okay, so prestige is at 0 anyway. Living by the edge, folks. Orders phase. 3 actions. And it says no troop withdrawals from China are allowed for the rest of the game. Okay, that means that if Army Navy goes to 0, we have to roll for it. Yeah, good thing we used all those withdrawal markers, Joe. Yeah, they really came to use. We squeezed all the juice of, you know. So it's 3 actions. We still have 2 kamikazes. We can't let MacArthur get into that one space. It's going to be hell. So we have to go to try to push him back. But then in the next turn, all the armies are going to advance 1 space. And MacArthur's going to 1, China's going to 2. Yes, we got to push. MacArthur is the key. I think Nimitz is linked to the party. Oh, here we go. MacArthur, let's bring a kamikaze. And we can do more than 1 attack. Yeah, we don't have that limitation this time. So it's MacArthur or bust. Here we go. 3 + 1, 4. That's a miss. And gone is the kamikaze. So we have 1 kamikaze left. 2 actions left. It has to be MacArthur. I don't see any other. I can't let him go to 1. He's going to advance to 1. So here we go. Let's put the other kamikaze to use. Okay, here we go. And it's another failure. Oh. We got 1 action left. Oh. Resources. We had a chance to look at this card before, right? So, oh no, there's conditions. There's a card before that. Still not off the hook. There's a card before that. So, man. So we can't do Army Navy. If oil and Army Navy go down, we lose the game automatically. So we may have to roll for oil, as stupid as it sounds. Because I don't know what that other card is. MacArthur is it? Yeah, I think we're going to have to roll for oil after all, you know. Was there a card that needed to be reshuffled into the deck? Let me see. Yeah, I think there was. Let me see. Yeah, but it is reshuffled into the draw pile if 4 or more cards remain. But at that time, there were more than... Oh, wait, you got a point. There were more than 4 cards remaining. Yeah. That was the B-29 fire raids. There were more. Reshuffle into the draw pile if 4 or more cards remain. Ouch! Yeah, the B-29, here it is. We're gonna... Okay, we know that this is the last one. The last card, so this... Hell of a reshuffling, huh? Okay, so there it is. Yeah, you're right. Man, the B-29 card is a killer. Okay. Yeah, we want to play by the rules as much as we can. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Okay. I don't know that Nightbot thing. I'm sorry about that. That's something in my program that I got to get rid of. The Nightbot thing, Joe. I don't know how to get rid of that thing. I got to find out. That's like a moderator thing. I'll find out. Okay. Oh, but wait. Which card was in the discard pile? It was... What card was in the discard pile? Oh boy. Okay. Which one was the current card? Do you guys remember? Was that? Damn. Let's see. No, the firebomb card was the one that I took out from the pile. Yeah, I think it was this one. Philippines Liberation was the card, right? Was it? No, I don't know. No, it was this one. It was Kamikazes. It was Kamikazes was the card. Yeah. We're on this card. I think so, right? Okay. Something about China. I screwed up the game. Damn it. And I can't. I think it was this Kamikaze card. China card. Ah, withdrawal from China. This one. That was a card, right? Yeah, no more withdrawals. That was the card. Okay. And we had advances by China. Nimitz. And we gain a point, yes. And the actions were 3 actions. And we have 1 action left. Right? We have 1 action left. Yeah. And we were considering rolling for oil. That was what I was thinking about doing. Yeah. Or going after MacArthur and risking the... There's 2 cards left now. We lose the game instantly if we don't have any oil, and both are moved back. Yeah. So guys, what do you think? We go for oil or we try to push MacArthur back? What do you guys think? Because there's 3 cards left. One is the unconditional surrender, the last card. The other 2, if oil and Army Navy goes down to 0, that's it. So what do you guys think? MacArthur or try to get oil? We can't get more Army Navy because we're blocked. Yeah, something tells me that oil's going to go down. No oil, no hope. Okay, oil, there's a -2. So we need 5 or 6. So the British are number 2 spot. Prestige is a 50-50, which is higher than the oil. Better chance than the oil. That's a good point. Oh, damn. I'm going to roll 1d6. If it's 1 to 3, I'll roll for prestige. If it's 4 to 6, I'll go for oil. Let the die reel. Okay, we're going to go for prestige. Here we go. We're going to do a prestige roll. Here we go. Let's see if this thing wants to work. No, it doesn't want to work. Here we go. And we got prestige. So prestige now goes up to 1. And that may be the savior of... So that was our last action. And now we have housekeeping. Cards left, 3 cards left. Okay. 1-1. Okay, we're at, this is the 3 cards remaining. We pull the next card, and it is Soviet Union declares war. It's bad because they go to the number 1 box. Do not perform this card if 4 or more other unplayed cards remain. No, that doesn't apply. Military. Place the Soviet Union unit in the Manchukuo space. Okay. So, guys, I present to you Marshal Vasilevsky in the Manchukuo space. Not good. Not good there. Okay. So, at least there's no military advances. And resources, we lose an Army Navy. So now, you know, we have to, well, we lose an Army Navy. So it's good we got that prestige. Lose an Army Navy point, but we only have 1 attack though. Sweating bullets here. He lost orders 3 actions. There's some modifiers there. Let me focus better in this card. The glare is, I believe the glare. Come on. -1 against the Soviets. No troop withdrawals from China. Yeah, so you can't do any troop withdrawals anyway. 3 actions. Okay. -1 against the Soviets. 3 actions. And we only have 1 attack action. Soviets are at 1. Yeah, 1 attack per turn, so that means even if we push that to 1, we're going to have just 1 attack. No kamikazes. The thing is, the Soviets are not an American army. They don't trigger the home island defense thing. So we're going to go against the Soviets, push them back. Here we go. We need 5 or 6. First action, and it's a failure. The Soviets stay planted at Manchukuo. That means we got to stop the Americans, but not now because we only had 1 attack. So we can't attack any other front, so we have to go for resources. So it's going to have to be oil and Army Navy, I suppose. Right? Army Navy is 4 or more. We want to have more than 1 attack option next turn. So here we go. Army Navy. And that's a failure. It's going to have to be Army Navy. Because oil is, you need, got that -2 is a killer. Got to be Army Navy. Here we go. And a 6, so we got out of that 0 space. We got 1 Army Navy point. No more actions though. I think we're going to get another B-20. We're going to get B-29 again. So that, now we go to housekeeping. Two cards left. No American Army still at number 1 spot. Okay, this is going to be the B-29 card. Headline phase, and this is B-29 firebomb raids. Advance any one Allied Army player's choice. I think I'll be advancing the Chinese. Right, they're in the number 2 spot. Yeah, it's going to be the Chinese. Yeah, advance any one Allied Army player's choice. Yep. Resources, lose 1 prestige. Oh, how hard it is to get prestige in this game. So prestige goes down to 0. 101. This is the bottom of the barrel, folks. Orders just 1 action. It sucks. +1 for Army Navy. But we have Army Navy. We have. Can't get any more. -2 for prestige. Takes care of that. And then it says reshuffle into the draw pile if 4 more cards remain. Now it doesn't go into the draw pile. Okay, so we only have 1 action. In the last turn we're going to have all armies advancing 1 space. And only if the American army triggers that thing that we have to roll to see if we will have our home island defenses. So this is the thing that I'm thinking. I'm thinking about an attack on the Russians. Or an attack on... See, the thing is, if we attack MacArthur and push him back to 3, in the next turn he just stays in Luzon for the end of the game. Right? And to push MacArthur back, it's the same as the Russians. Let the Russians come in on the last turn. We'll fight the Russians rather than having the situation here that we won't have this available. If MacArthur gets into the 1 spot, we risk not having that available. So I think it's going to be MacArthur. I think that's the only thing we can do. Hope to push MacArthur back because he's going to advance into the number 1 if he doesn't go back. So that's going to be it. It's going to be MacArthur. We don't have any more bonuses or nothing. That's it, folks. We need a 5 and a 6. Sweating bullets here. Here we go. Whoa, come on. Ah, miss. Failed miserably. So that's it. That was B-29 card. Now we go to the last card. Man, that sucked. Housekeeping. That sucked. Yeah, they've done better. Now we go to the last card, which is the unconditional surrender card. We'll take it step by step. Headline phase. We flip the card. It's got a lot of text. Unconditional surrender. If I can take a good picture of this without the glare. I'll just place it here. Let's take a nice picture of this thing. Okay, do not perform for, okay, that doesn't apply to yellow, text in yellow. Military, advance all Allied armies. Okay, well, let's advance them and then let's see how everything looks like. Okay. Nimitz ends the game at Iwo Jima. MacArthur advances to Formosa. The British advance to Hong Kong. The Chinese advance to Manchukuo. We only have to contend with the Russians. And the Russians advance into the Japanese home island, but we have the home island defense system. Right? I think I'm doing it right. Let's go back to the card here. Resources, lose 2 prestige. Well, prestige is at 0, as you can see there. Kamikaze support is applied after the dice roll against the home island space only. Oh, we don't have kamikazes. Orders 2 actions. Only 2 actions. And we got to push the Russians back. No, before that, the Russians have to contend with our home island defense. That means that if a dice roll, if it's a 1 to 3, yeah, the atom bomb, we're not playing with those cards. Those cards are optional. I know there's I'll show you those. There's 4 white cards. Yeah, but we're not playing with those cards. The Russians entered Japan. We have, you see there, we have a Banzai option, which is a free attack versus each allied unit in the space with a 6 to win. Okay, so the first thing we have is always the Banzai attack, and that's for free. So now we roll a die. If it's a 6, the Russians go home to Manchukuo and we win the game. So here we go. Let's go with a Banzai attack. And put some Banzai chant for effect. Banzai! Yes! Yes, we got the Banzai. We wanted the Banzai, so they go reeling back to Manchukuo. So we didn't even have to test the home defenses. That's it. I think we won the game. I'm sure that along the way in the 3 decks, we probably played something wrong, I know. But man, we didn't have to roll in for home defense. These guys are pristine. And the Solomon guys did the ultimate sacrifice. I think most valuable player, ladies and gentlemen, the Solomon defenders. These guys, take a look at them, man. These guys just, they are worth their weight in gold. Nimitz is sipping a pina colada over there at Iwo Jima because of these guys. So, wow. That was something. Now, the expansion brings these 4 cards, which are entirely optional. Operation Downfall. You get 6 actions here, but look at, you got advances by everybody and their mother. Atomic bomb attack. So, Operation Coronet. So these are like Operation Olympic. So these are optional. Even the expansion says you can play it without these. I decided from the start to playing without this because I haven't played this game in a long time, and I've never gone as far as I've gone here. But I think this is a really nice game. I think this game should be republished with nice pieces. I don't know. I'm not a fan of stickering, but you could have bigger blocks like this and stickers. And it's just 5 blocks or 6 blocks. And they look great. They feel great. These round markers. Imagine if VUCA Simulations would take this game in their game New Cold War. They have round markers. You don't have to sticker them. They come stickered already, and they look great. Patrick, VUCA, take this game. This game is really good. It's one of my favorite states of siege, and it's one of the traditional states of siege. Everything converges in one area. Now we have second generation states of siege, which they you have several tracks like you have the upcoming game by Herman Luttmann, Miracle at Dunkirk. You have the each German unit advancing along their own front, getting to closer to Dunkirk Beach. That's one I'm putting an eye for. And I just received on the mail a game that I'll be doing an unboxing tomorrow, which is called Black Skin, Black Shirt. And it is about the Banzai applies to Space Zero. Yeah, and that is Space Zero. That is part of Space Zero. Yeah. And Black Skin, Black Shirt, about the Italian invasion of Ethiopia. It's a Ben Madison game, States of Siege, where you control the Ethiopians, which are actually the more interesting side to play there in that campaign. So I'll be doing a live unboxing tomorrow at about this same time, 6. I think 6 is good for everybody in the West Coast, in the East Coast. On the West Coast, I don't know, but in the East Coast, for my friends in Spain, it's not so late. I got people in South America that can also watch. So tomorrow at 6, I'll put the thumbnail. So this is the end of this series. We must tell the Emperor. Somebody publish this thing, do a deluxe version, including all the cards, of course. It's a great game. It was Steve Carey's first game, man. Hell of a first game with a system. This system was pretty new when it came out, the States of Siege. So I want to thank everybody here for sticking around. Yes, I have Zulus on the Ramparts. That's another candidate. The thing is, I'm doing games that televise well. These States of Siege games televise well. So that's something I like to do. I'm getting the hang with the controls, getting to know them. So this is something that I like. If you enjoy, I think it's good to go like in epochs, one epoch, one day. Because if you play for 3 hours straight, I get tired quickly. And the thing is, the other thing, I want to bring another guest that I can have sitting over there, and he can actually play the game. I can be a moderator, and then we have 2 people checking on the rules, making sure that everything's right, and of course checking on your commentaries. I have your commentary, your chat right next to me, so that's something that we can do. That's what I want to do with this format. Never played a States of Siege game. This one is very good. Steve Carey has, I think the best Steve Carey State of Siege game is Malta Besiege. Malta Besiege is fantastic. And I'm talking the traditional States of Siege games. Ben Madison has his States of Siege games too. So I think it works. I mean, it's not a simulation. It's a lot of fun. It televises well. For me, I like it. You can understand everything that's going on because you don't have huge stacks of counters. So try it out. I intend to do hex and counter games, but those that are smaller don't have a ton of counters, but I have to still get the hang of it. Yeah, so my pleasure, Paul. Thanks for correcting me in those when I screwed up the modifiers and stuff like that. And unconditional surrender, they did better here, yeah. And I think it said unconditional surrender, but the Allies let them keep the Emperor, so I don't know how much of unconditional that was. So the card deck, no, this card deck actually is the card deck that comes with the game. I just cut the corners with a corner cutter and laminated them. These are the same cards. Yep. Okay, thank you, Thomas. So Keep Up the Fire. That's another one. That's another hell of a good game too. That's by Welch is the name of the designer. Same guy who did Levé, I don't know, Levé in Arms or something. It's a French Revolution game. Yeah. Okay, I'll be doing them. I think this time is fine. It's not too late, not too. So I'll be doing them sometimes unannounced, but tomorrow, stay tuned for the unboxing of Black Skin, Black Shirt. We'll do a live unboxing, take 40, 45 minutes. You can ask questions, I can answer them. So I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Thanks for showing up, and it's a real pleasure to do these. Okay, take care, people. See you next time.